Mom 70F refuses to visit if I, 31F, live in a manufactured home. Myself and my husband, early 30s, have purchased land outright we plan to homestead on. We are in the process of setting everything up to put a manufactured home on the land and live there. We have big plans in motion to help us set up multiple streams of income from the land as well. This is the result of many years of hard work coming together, and my husband and I are so happy with our choices. Issue is my mom, 70F. She has made it very clear she hates the idea, especially of a manufactured home that she calls the trailer park, in a very demeaning tone. She has gone so far to tell me she won't ever visit, because it hurts to see me like this, and laments on how her grandkids will be raised. She also refers to my husband's car collection as a junkyard. He likes to fix classic cars. They all run but one he is working on. I've never cared about how it looks. It makes him happy, so it makes me happy. She has always come and decorated my homes mainly because I just don't care. I just want somewhere to sit, eat and sleep. She is really into interior design and has the perfect suburban home that looks like it could be in a Home and Gardens magazine. Sometimes we have clashed because I don't wear nice enough clothes, don't invest in expensive decorations, and do things in my own home like have a wall of family photos or put up an inflatable Santa at Christmas, all apparently big design no-nos. These things have caused me to go minimal contact at times. It feels silly because they are so small to me, but I feel looked down on and belittled by her. I mainly feel angry and hurt because I accept that what makes her happy is different than what I would choose, and that's okay. The world would be pretty bland if everyone was the exact same. I just wish she could do the same for me. How can I either try to change my mom's mind or accept that she will always hate the life I've worked hard for? Also, how to try and ease tensions between her and my husband, who I think is somewhat understandably insulted by her comments. Edit. Thank you for all the advice from everyone. I appreciate most the comments that recognize how painful this is. I get it may not feel like a loss to others, totally understandable. But perhaps more I am mourning what I think everyone wants from their parents to be seen and accepted. This is a bigger part of a long pattern between us. I wish I could be as close to her as I want to be. I've had to put up so many walls just to protect my eating disorder recovery, whole other piece to this pattern. It's just more walls when what I want is to be loved completely and fully. Again, thank you for all the comments and advice. Enjoy the peace and quiet of your new manufactured home, without the presence of a person who judges you. I mean, this sounds like a her problem, not a you problem. If she wants you to have a new construction home or whatever, then she can pay for it herself. Let her build you a home. What a weird hill to die on for your mom. Do you actually want her to visit? She sounds like a pretty unpleasant guest. My mother-in-law was this way. We really enjoyed the peace and quiet of her not visiting. I'm serious. If she can't accept your wonderful lifestyle with your amazing family, she can go kick rocks. You don't need the negativity in your life one bit. P.S. We loved our mobile home without her in it. I 31/M need help with some guy my 32/F girlfriend met at the gym. Do I have the right to be upset? About 5 months ago, my girlfriend met a guy at the gym. They became friends, started talking a lot, and eventually began messaging on Instagram. I only found out because one day he messaged her saying cute dress. I told her I was fine with her having male friends, but that she needed to make her boundaries clear and let him know she has a boyfriend. She agreed and said she did that, and everything seemed fine for a while. A couple of weeks later, while she was in the shower, I saw several DMs from him pop up. I opened them and realized they'd been talking every day. He had even made comments about me, calling me dad bod, and she didn't stand up for me. That really hurt. I told her then that she needed to cut contact with him completely, and she agreed. But something didn't feel right, and for the first time in 5 years, I checked her phone while she was asleep because I just didn't trust her anymore. I found a lot of conversations with him, most of which she had deleted. This was the 3rd time she had lied about this guy. She swore he was just a gym friend and that she only lied because she thought I'd get mad. She insists her intentions are pure and that she just enjoys talking to him. I do believe she didn't mean for things to cross a line, but I also feel like he was filling some kind of emotional void for her, which she even admitted, saying he shares her interests. This past week, I found out she talked to him twice again. The conversations were short, but she didn't tell me about them. I told her this was the final straw and that she needed to switch gyms. Now I feel like I'm being controlling, But this guy has caused nothing but problems for our relationship, and she refuses to switch gyms. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel betrayed, confused, and completely lost. Edit. The deleted texts were basically them asking about each other's families, walking on the treadmill at the end of their workout to shoot the shit, one comment calling me insecure, and the dad bod comment. Some of the texts were them sending each other recipes and songs. Nothing that crossed major boundaries other than the guy's comments about me. She only lied because she thought I'd get mad, ha ha ha. Yeah, whatever. I feel for you, but it's time for your move on, truly. Not only are you constantly having to dig for things she's clearly hiding, there's more. Once uncovered, she lies some more. Blaming you essentially by justifying, you'd be mad. Of course you'd be upset that she can't keep her word. Just move on and spare yourself the anxiety-riddled evenings and lack of trust. Learn and grow. Find someone who cares for and about you. I think after 5 years to lie, in this situation, there is more going on. It don't make sense why she would lie, and deleting texts is major red flag. Switching gyms won't do anything. He is already in contact with her. You know you need to leave, but you love her too much, so you're trying to fight it. The longer you stay, the less she'll respect you, sadly. She lied because homeboy is relentlessly fucking her weekly. Right, so she repeatedly ignores it and does it behind your back. But we are to believe the serial liar isn't doing him behind your back. Maybe it's a reach, but the point still stands. Why even keep her if she won't change? Me 26M, her 26F, caught my partner using crack cocaine. My partner and I have been together for almost 4 years. We live together, and I care for her deeply, but this issue has been really breaking me down. About 4 months ago, I found my partner having a seizure on the bottom of the bathroom floor. She has a past history of seizures due to her epilepsy. After cleaning her up and calling the ambulance, she managed to regain a little bit of consciousness. She was still in a delirious state. I noticed she had glass in her feet and hands and asked her what it was, and she tried to rush into the bathroom to stop me going back in there. My only thought was keeping her safe, so I told her to get back into bed for the ambulance to arrive. After she left for the hospital, and I prepared a night back, I began to clean the glass to find that it was a glass pipe and a jar containing a small amount of crack cocaine. One of the major side effects of epilepsy can be memory loss. She had returned from hospital worse than ever, forgetting people she works with, what our house looks like, places we've been, dates we've gone on, and probably the last few months. This was quite scary for her, so I didn't feel it to be the time to bring up her taking drugs. I had thrown out the glass pipe and cocaine, so I didn't feel the need to bring it up because I thought that may be a sign to her that I know. I then brought up the question before her next neurologist visit, asking if she takes anything else besides weed. She said no, and that was extremely upsetting, but I also thought maybe she doesn't actually remember taking it, so I didn't press further. Just the other day, I found a new glass pipe. No drugs, but who knows where they might be. I'm not even that worried about taking drugs on a basic level. That's an entirely different issue. It's a problem for me because it directly affects her seizures that have caused so much struggle in her and my life. I'm just worried on how to bring it up because I love her and want to be with her, but she's broken a bit of my trust with this. How can I accept her saying she won't do it again? How do I even bring that up in general? Lying is addict behavior, as is continuing to use despite knowing it can have really bad effects. It's probably not a coincidence that this last seizure happened with both the pipe and the drug near. You're most likely with a crack addict. Trusting her would be dumb. She'll lie to your face without hesitating. And yes, she'll almost certainly rather give up on you than on the drug. That's what addiction is. If you want to spend your life with a crack addict, that's your decision, but please tell me that you're not planning to bring kids into this. They suffer immensely. And yes, addicts almost always rather give up on their kids than their drug. Listen to me when I tell you this, leave her. Crack will turn the utmost loving and caring people into liars, cheaters, and thieves. Crack destroys. You need to run quickly, get her the hell up out of your place. I noticed she had glass in her feet and hands and asked her what it was, and she tried to rush into the bathroom to stop me going back in there. It's very unusual that post-seizure she was able to have enough clarity to do this. Anyways, all you can do is talk to her, but keep in mind she'll likely lie and be defensive because that's what addicts do. And if she's smoking crack secretly at home, she's absolutely an addict. First step is to be open about what you saw and what your concerns are. She's a crack addict. The seizures are probably from crack. The life you had with her is over. Now that you know if you stay with her, she'll do less to hide her use. She might even try to get you to use. If you leave her, she'll have an excuse to use more. I know I sound harsh, but I have one dead daughter and another well on her way because of crack. Maybe you can talk her into rehab, but it doesn't have a great success rate. You need to have a real conversation with her if you love her. You don't need to dehumanize or villainize her like every other comment is saying, but this needs to be talked about and openly discussed. Talk to her about getting into a treatment program. Just because somebody is an addict doesn't mean they are a bad person. Red heart, they need love and empathy too. My 27 male, partner, 29 female, and I haven't been intimate in 2 months. How often is normal? Hi everyone, I've been wanting to ask this to a wider range of people, so here goes. My partner and I have been together for 3 years now. We were friends for a few months before dating, and we get along great. Genuinely in love, she's funny, beautiful, kind, and supportive. She has a 7-year-old boy who I love like my own. When we started dating, she would stay over at my place every weekend. And when she did, we would have sex a few times a day over those weekends. And it was amazing. Then when we moved in together, it went down to maybe once a week, because we were living with her son. There have been dips and highs over the relationship when we would have sex a lot, and then sometimes we wouldn't for a week or 2. We both work, study, and parent full-time, so that isn't an issue for me at all. But recently it's been terrible. We haven't had sex in 2 months, and it seems 2 months has been the usual gap between sex. I've asked her about it before, and she said she doesn't know why, but she hasn't been in the mood recently. I told her that I want her to be open and comfortable with me, so I would never put any pressure on her, and I love her with or without sex. I don't know if this is normal or not though. How many couples have regular sex? This is my second serious relationship. Before this I've only had hookups and casual flings, so I'm unsure how common this is when 2 people get comfortable. I don't think I've done anything wrong. I do 80% of the housework. I'm doting and loving, but without being a pushover. And when we do have sex, I know that she enjoys it. Anyway, sorry if this has been a ramble, just wanted to know if this is common. Edit. I just want to say thanks to everyone for being so supportive. I'm glad I asked it on here. I'm getting a lot of advice from you all, and I'll read all the comments. But thank you for all of the comments that aren't just break up with her, laughing my ass off. All depends, you can't define what normal is. Some people do it every day, some 3-4x a week, others 1x a month. All depends on the people, I suppose. First start of a relationship, you'll always have sex more often than the rest of the time. That's very common is new relationships. Parenthood sucks your libido though, for some people anyway. She could just have a lot going on. Married and it's pretty common. Everyone's normal is different. We have 2 kids and sex took a nosedive since the first kid. There's a lot of reasons. We are tired. When we do have the time to do it, we would both usually rather sleep. She doesn't feel good about her body. I've been working a lot so schedules don't sync, yada yada. We will certainly get back to it once she's healed from the second baby, but sex isn't as big a deal for us as it was 10 years ago. Still important, but we go with the flow generally, and there's no insecurity about it from either of us. Does it matter whether it's normal? Some couples' normal is every day. Some others is not. Sice last child was conceived 10+ years ago. Woman shrugging, medium light skin tone. At most, you can ask her if there's anything you can do about it. Like maybe she'd be less tired in the evening if she didn't have to think about cooking and washing the dishes. Or she'd be less stressed if she knew that you're going to deal with the leaking faucet, and she doesn't have to find a plumber, call him, decide whether the price asked is fair, and so on. I said 2 completely random things. Of course I don't know how your relationship works. Maybe she's not feeling secure in her body right now. I've been with my husband for 9 years, married 5, and we have sex once or twice a week. We were having it more early on.